bomb site during the warm-up here, so would expect actually both teams to try to do that because it's a super effective way of getting into position quickly without making any noise
without
as well.
Smoking it off. You don't have, they don't check it as quickly. We saw Maniac get a 3K as a result with a 5-7, so already though pistol underway, and right now it looks like a bit of a B push, or at least Apex trying to sell that. Guardian does find Kenny S, so they may not have ops out yet, but that's confidence for Guardian. One for him.
And what's really cool from NaVi right now, they're pushing out right behind Apex as well.
So Guardian's going the long way too, so Apex won't have any clue he's going to be there. Flamey will distract him, and here it is. Guardian's going to get that flank, but meanwhile, Faceit is under a lot of pressure because Titans come in, and RPK's found one. He's still not down. He's still got the bomb, and he's going to go for this plant as Existence tries to hold out two players, one of which is Flamey, the other is Zeus. Very low HP though, so it's just RPK that's left, and Guardian coming in from behind have him completely swarmed. 5 HP, and down he goes.
Solid pistol round from NaVi. Obviously getting that entry frag early on from Guardian helps a lot. But I really like the aggression coming out from them. The fact that they pushed out right after they know that, well, we've tagged up Apex heavily. If he actually attempts to go at us with 3 people here, we can take that. We're completely fine with trading. And they're going to get so much map control from it. They instantly knew what to do. They had really good rotations coming in, and they basically gave Titan no time to actually set up in a proper afterplan position.
No, it was brilliant. Of course, Existence was trying to battle everyone out, but even if he had stayed alive and got one, Guardian was still behind RPK, so he would have had an easy shot at him. It wasn't like he had to go through another man first, so good position play there. Yeah,
and speaking of Guardian, he's already picked up an AWP. That's a massive investment, knowing that you're going to go up against Tech-9s and Armor.
That's a huge investment. Of course, it comes on the back of his hat trick, but he also has chest armor to go with it. And it's important to know, because without the armor second round, that's lunacy, because tags are so powerful. You get something like a Tech-9 coming at you with 32 bullets, you're never going to have time to aim your shot.
And Titan with loads of nades, Molotov as well. This is going to be tough for NaVi to hold, actually.
PK again, good entry from him, but Kenny's already dropped, and now he has as well, as Edward finds the kill. Maniac goes back into him though on the trade. So another bomb plant. That's important to note for Titan, because this gives them a bit of economy to work with going into the next round. That op's still up for Guardian. Flamey's going to have to go in and take down Maniac. He does so successfully, and now it's all down to Existence, and he's got 3 players that are very aggressive onto his position and very hungry, but that Tech-9, oh my goodness. That's Guardian the drop, by the way. That's important to note, but they will recover the op. So Zeus should throw it back over, and it won't be any damage dealt, obviously, other than the fact they'll have to grab some more armor.
Yeah, the good thing for Titan, obviously, getting the bomb plant already there. It's a successful eco, even though they invested quite heavily into it. Get 3 kills as well, so it's going to be hard for NaVi to actually replenish. And we could potentially see another, well, semi-okay investment from Titan going into this round, because they know that they're already stressing the economy of NaVi.
I mean, the hard part is you don't get a pistol on T side. Obviously, we said the map's a little more balanced, but you get that pistol, you get 3 rounds, that's half the job done. So now they've got to do it the hard way as well, and that means they have to be very careful about not only building an economy, but being able to damage NaVi's even in the rounds they lose. So every kill is going to count for them on this half.
Yeah, absolutely, and Titan have historically been very good at getting T rounds as well, so even though they have to go the hard route to get them, you know, they're definitely not out of it by any chance, you know, by any measure.
Smoke off on A main. Staggered smoke a little bit late, not by default, out of spawn. That actually slows them down accordingly, but they're going to try and flash through it. They'll smoke off that quad side, because usually that's your immediate angle with a rifle, but it's actually Edward on the opposing side. Out toward Cat, that's going to come up above now and try and get over top of them. He spots them up, and there's one for him. Zeus and Guardian already with the others. It's looking good. Apex, though, here it is. There's those kills I'm talking about. Now they've got 2. Guns down against NaVi.
Look at Existence. He's already on his way towards the B bomb site, and well, actually he's going to opt to go towards mids. This is a bit of a weird move from him, I think, because he could have risked it and gone towards the B bomb site only to try to get a plant. But
it's up to Flamey to figure this out, though, because Guardian's actually gone past to B, so he may still be able to get up highway. He's actually not. He wants to go right through. This indicates to me he's playing for kills. He just wants to damage them as much as possible. Flamey's going to get him. So 3-0 NaVi start off strong. But here we go. Op out for Kenny S.
And similar to the Dust 2, this should be the big duel. Guardian versus Kenny S. Who's going to be able to open up for their team? And we saw Kenny actually struggling quite a bit versus Alu on Cash.
And it was Apex that covered off that mid for them. So we'll have to see if that happens again on CT. But right now it's T. He's already looking for that shot. Look at this mid presence, though. from NaVi, 3 players. This is similar to Fnatic, obviously not in a double up situation or setup, but they've got 3 there early to contest it. They'll smoke it, then they can fall to the according site based on the read they get. And there it is, Guardian, Apex down. Existence has gone for the boost though. He's through this smoke, they don't spot him up. He does take down Zeus, and he'll fall back into Cubby. They know he's there. That's the good news. The bad news is they've lost a man and not found the trade, and now Kenny's going to go back and find Guardian, so this is turned around now. But never speak too soon. Flamey finds RPK. Kenny looking for more. Not done just yet. Edward's going to find Existence in the meanwhile, but Kenny's still trying to find this shot. He's got to be careful because there's a player that's gone past him into the vents. There's no one over at B, though. This actually opens up mid because Maniac's right beside Kenny, and they might try and push through together now.
Now look at Edward. Edward's pushing aggressively. He wants to find some information for his team, and he might be able to catch both Maniac and Kenny.
They haven't moved. He's going to get there. Question is, does he look the right way when he comes out? Because they're going to be peeking out toward Highway. They might just see him on the edge of the screen. They're not going to. They're not in the periphery, and Edward gets 2 free kills. Great, great, great push from him.
Yeah, and also, you know, added bonus, gets to pick up that ult from Kenny S and hand it off to Guardian. So the economy of NaVi, yeah, sure, they lose a couple of players, but not the worst thing in the world. Right now, this is more of NaVi being very satisfied with the fact that they're able to pick up rounds and, well, Titan, back to eco. We can see, smoke, 2 flashes, most likely going to be a really simple A execute, similar to what we saw in the previous eco round from Titan.
So NaVi already off to a better CT side this time than we saw. Actually, already have the same amount of rounds they had on Dust 2.
So that's definitely a good start. You know, and we talked about this, getting into that easy rhythm with a nice, you know, nice solid start on CT. That could be the world for NaVi.
Flamey's already got 3 kills too, so he's off to a better start than last time. Again, because that was the key yesterday, that he was playing well, so if he can come online, on land rather, it'll be hugely important for NaVi because the rest of them are firing quite well. And again, they are setting up for this simple A take. C's is going to be the first to spot them. They're going to try and push him out from behind the quad, but that fire is going to go out, hold them off even longer. Oh, almost gets caught with a nade out though as Apex comes around, and he actually tries to go back and get him and gets too aggressive, so RPK catches him out over peeking that angle. Now Edward's got to play smart because they've got him smoked off. He's down as well. Flamey, though, luckily comes around just in time. He'll get Maniac. RPK drops to Zeus, but there's only 2 left. Pardon me, 3 left now for NaVi as the bomb goes down for Titan, and it's all on Apex as Zeus finds 2 very quickly.
And again, even though NaVi wins the round, that's still a solid eco coming up from Titan. They get the bomb plant, which is pretty much job done for them, and they've always been able to pick up a couple of frags, so that's always gonna hamper the economy of NaVi.
They've still got lots of money this time, but yeah, I mean, again, every round counts. We've also got a full money bonus going the way of Titan.
Yeah, and you can see now, after buying, it's pretty much Guardian who sits on a bit of a bank, really. He's sitting on 6k, but the rest of them, you know, they're starting to feel it. But this is where Kenny S has to get going, really. He needs to put his mark on the game. We didn't have a good Dust 2, so this is like his time to shine.
And he's looking for this A pick, too, and he finds it. It's so interesting how every time we saw it on Dust, they both went long, they both went mid. These guys know each other. It's like they can absolutely read each other and where they're going to peak. So Kenny gets the better of it this time, but watch out because we've got a reverse boost coming in from the CT side. We've got to be careful, though, because Apex is back and watching it, so he dinks up Edward, and he's forced to fall back, and now that gives away their position in mid. There's obviously 2 players there based on that. Gives them a bit of room to work with.
Yeah, Titan, though, not opting to actually go aggressive towards any of the bomb sites while that happens. So NaVi do kind of recover. The problem for them right now is they're heavily stacked towards the B bomb side, and Titan slowly moving there. So Seized has to come up absolutely huge if NaVi wants to hold on to that bomb site. I mean, Edward is rotating over with Suze right now, but Edward's on low HP.
Flamey's late coming out as well. He was pushed all the way to Toxic, so Maniac's got seized already. That means A's completely open. For the time being, Zeus going to come in, flashing his way through, but it actually catches him because it went just beyond his shoulder, so he turned into it rather than away from it. And that means Titan get 2 more, and it's all on Flamey, 1 on 5, and I imagine this M4 is quite precious at this point, and he can't even land the shot on Maniac.
Oh, first round for Titan. But yeah, mainly that's what you get when a Kenny S opens up for you. Creates rotations from NaVi. NaVi tried to go on the aggressive with the boost. Apex was already ready, waiting for it on top of car. So Titan definitely aware of what NaVi wants to do as long as they lose map control, or as soon as they lose map control.
Kenny again peeking for this A spot. Guardian a lot more passive in behind the quad boxes. Zeus is inside vents. That's valuable because this allows them to not only control mid better, but fall into B very quickly. The vents in this map are a pivotal point of contention, in my opinion. A lot of teams don't utilize them to good effect, and it's good to see NaVi getting a man up there. But an over peek, a shoulder peek from Edwards, tries to bait out Kenny, but he's far too quick and gets the shot, and that's a man down, and Titan with the early advantage.
They were able to do a lot with that the previous round. Now we're going to see Existence doing what he always does. Molotov into vents. So Zeus has to back off as well.
That's a good read. That's one way to force him out of mid, so that opens up a bit more control.
Zeus, though, is in a pretty good position here in mid to actually surprise anyone from Titan if they decide to split the A bomb site, but from the looks of it,
they're just going to go straight through main.
Yeah, so it's all going to come down to Guardian. He's going to have to pick up quite a few frags.
Zeus is at least already on highway. As soon as that smoke went out top, he just kept going. He didn't even stop to stay around in mid and try and get some more presence there. So Maniac finds Guardian, and that means Zeus is the only one that's up close as Flamey comes to truck just now. But look at those smokes. There's no vision at all. There's no way for NaVi to even find a kill. And I think they're going to take this early exit, save the guns they've got, because this is it for them.
Yeah, they completely broke. So saving this, they could muster up, you know, an okay force buy for the next round with maybe 5-7 on the two guys who've already died. But that's the best case scenario for NaVi right now. But you can see RPK is already hunting.
Look at Titan's money. I mean, they're looking really good despite only winning one round.
Yeah,
and resetting
so many
the money
plants.
bonus. That's right. It's the money. It's the money bonus and the bomb plants that this round gave them a huge amount. And look at this. They're doing absolute massive damage right now. They aren't going to save any of these guns. It's RPK.
RPK.
My goodness, this is exciting to see him on form today.
Oh, yeah. This is what everyone who's played Source and followed RPK, everybody knew what kind of player he was. So when we saw him being brought back into Titan, everyone was really excited. Obviously, you'd have to have limited expectations as to how quickly he could perform. But right now, he's doing an excellent job.
So Kenny with an op. Natus Vincere with just pistols. He doesn't hit that first shot, but again, still peeking that long. He didn't spot him go back either because he went into hiding to recock the barrel of the gun, and that means that he gets crossed back out. Maniac finds C's though, but look at Flamey pushing up at long. If he can find this kill, he's got him low. Is he going to go for this knife? This is ridiculous. He doesn't get it. Maniac comes back into him, and he only had one bullet left in the chamber. I don't think he realized how low he was. So Apex finds Guardian now, and it's all up to Zeus.
He's going to go down, and they're going to be able to pick up the AWP for Kenius as well, so no real harm done. And already, Titan 3 rounds. And you can see the issue that NaVi is having, seeing how they got picked up so much during the ecos of Titan. Even after having an eco, they're not going to have the best spy ever.
And 10K in only 3 rounds winning, 10K already up for Titan.
Yeah.
And I mean, they only lost, what, 1 man over the last 2 rounds? They've been enabled the just most luxurious lifestyle of not being able to have, buying every round and have to buy every round. So RPK finds Flamey. That opens up the round, but look at this aggression again from NaVi out toward long, and it's not going to pay off at all as RPK and Maniac have found 2. C's not done just yet, though. He could actually even this back up with this kill on Kenny, and he's got to be careful. He's not careful enough. C's gets him, so now it's back to 3-on-3. But Apex is already inside A, so when he tries to fall back, he's going to get him from the forklift. Guardian responding, so even trades again, but it's all A. Wide open for this plant from Existence, and Apex just has to spot the rotations early and get them into post-plant positions, and in fact, he's already falling into A main.
Yeah, right now Titan are trying to play this as safe as possible, and you can't really blame them for it. Apex clearing out back of A main quite early, just expecting that backstab from NaVi.
So Existence stays at quad, he slows them down on the way in, also lets Apex know where they are, but he's at main. Oh, Zeus was aware of it, but couldn't get the shot off. How quickly would that have turned the round? Because they knew exactly where Existence was. Yeah, now he's going to fall out. Guardian can't do anything. He tries to get this exit on Existence. He actually does, so that's at least insult for, or consolation prize for their injury in this round, but it's going to give another one to Titan. 4 straight, and we said they had to do it the hard way. They had to win the economic battle quickly. They successfully did that, and without the pistol round, they're now very, very into this game.
Absolutely, and you can see the money's constantly going to be an issue for NaVi at this point. They're never really going to get into a situation where they can be comfortable about losing a round. Now, you know, Titan on the other hand, as you said, they're just filthy rich at this point. 10K on 2 players, and that's after buying.
From Apex, that opens it up again, and RPK non-stop from him today. Flamey gets him back with that CZ 75. Little team damage from Edward as, fortunately, Flamey walked into his barrel, but Apex gets him down.
Yeah,
Sees to drop as well. I mean, this is looking great for Titan again. They're going to lose only one man again this round. Or so far, that's the case. I shouldn't speak too soon because Flamey does have the AK. So he's at least picked up a gun.
No armor, though. So as soon as he gets sight, now he's on 11 HP, so as soon as he gets sight, he's going to die. But Titan doing a good job. Like, not being pressured by Ecos, not losing unnecessary amounts of players or...
Double up.
Ooh. And yeah, again, first time that NaVi actually have an okay amount of money, and they go for the absolute massive investment. This has to work out for them. Otherwise, they're going to be completely out of it. They're going to most likely have to double eco unless they would want to start that 4-spy game.
And it's 1A, 1 mid, 2B. So 1A in terms of the op and 1 mid. Seized will support the op at A, but it's a B contest right now. Zeus and Flamey are the men that are there. They've got it smoked and flashed, and that nade goes a little bit too deep to do any damage, but at least they've slowed down this push. Because there was 3 men committed to it, and the bomb was over there, so if they found that kill early, they would have just marched in. Instead, they fall back. They've got to cover off this mid. Kenny finds the first, though, again. There's one op down. Kenny wins the battle. Guardian yet to really give him an answer. He's found a few, but the majority of them have gone Kenny's way.
The problem for NaVi right now is that whenever they've given up an entry frag, Titan are so good at actually capitalizing from it, and there you go. RPK once again.
Brilliant. Knew he was pushed up, mollied him out. He has to cross back, and he gets him on the way. Edward, though, does find Maniac, but look at this. They haven't checked the back of sight. Flamey was over toward the generator, but there's not enough power for him in that case, so RPK goes back into him, and now B's open. They've got to watch from C's coming around the long way. He's going to come all the way through tunnels. While Edward's actually sitting in CT. He's not even looking like he wants to go for this.
Yeah, well, this is a situation we talked about. With such a big investment, they kind of have to get something in return for it, and if a round win is not possible, then the best option for you is to actually save, and you can see C's just posting up in an exit position. You know, hopefully he's going to be able to pick up 1 or 2 members of Titan, but at this point Titan doesn't really care about the money situation because they can buy whenever they want.
Yeah, they're both looking for exits. Seized and Toxic, they're all going to come his way. Edward won't find anyone. You can Seized get them, he's right behind them. Waits it out, there's 2 for him. Bomb's going to go off and RPK drops, so at least Seized gets 3. That's every gun down. But Titan now have the lead in this game, and they've already got those 6 rounds.
Yeah, and they did it the hard way. And judging by how the buy rounds have played out, NaVi have only won 1. And that has to be a worrying fact for them going into this. They've picked up the easy rounds. Good point. Yeah, they've picked up the easy rounds, which they should pick up, and that's great for them, but they really need to get some buy rounds at this point, and they have to stop giving away entry frags to Kenny S. Whenever Kenny S gets an entry frag, their rotations become flustered, they spread themselves too thin, and just everything snowballs the wrong way for Titan, no, for NaVi.
Kenny almost found one there, but they flashed him just in the nick of time because that smoke hadn't fully covered him off. Tries to find the shot that time, but Guardian and Seized have already done good work for NaVi. They're 2 men up. They still want to push this mid. Guardian's going to come out. Maybe the rifle's the way to go for him because he's got Kenny on low HP. Kenny can't find that angle. Guardian's also going to find Existence. But Kenny does get him in the end. He's all that's left. 1 on 4. It is Kenny S we're talking about, but look at the positions right now from NaVi. It doesn't matter. Zeus down. Kenny with a little bit more control. Doesn't have the bomb. That's the crucial thing. It is down just beside him in mid, but he's very timid to go over in that position to get it because he's not sure exactly where the remaining NaVi players are. Now that he's pushed up across the top of the hut, he may have a chance to scout out. They're playing quite passive on this, but Seized, I think, can actually see it from his reverse angle back by Big Garage, so... Kenny, yeah, he can. There you go. So Kenny needs to be aware of it. He is looking in the right direction. He picks it up, though. They don't actually spot that.
But
it doesn't matter.
Edward's ready, and I think Cease would have noticed that the bomb was gone and eventually pushed behind it. But in a situation like that, for Kenny S, it's all about just getting frags. You don't really have to focus initially on winning the round because that's a really far-fetched thing, a far-fetched notion. Instead, you want to just bring it to NaVi, make them use as much money as possible because you know that they're hurting. So the more damage you can put onto them, the better it is. And as soon as Titan win 1 round back, then NaVi are going to be back to eco.
And they go back to this double op, and look at this setup. Edward, Guardian, both in Z connector, both with ops. So 1 peek doesn't work, they're going to go out for 2. And if they try and rush mid, they're going to have a big problem on Titan's side. They have smoked it off, and actually they want to contest for these vents. Apex, Maniac, Existence all the way out already and into the corner. But Edward and Guardian can't find the angle, can't find the line of sight. Meanwhile, look at Flamey pushed up. RPK's down, and there's your entry man that's been so on fire for Titan. Luckily, Maniac and Apex come right through the vents behind. We'll get those kills. Guardian finds Kenny, and look at that. Zeus, they line up, and he mows them down, and they get back in the lead 2 rounds in a row. And now we're going back and forth, and now the crowd, there's the chant.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for, really.
They need to do this every round because honestly, yesterday I think it helped. On that Dust 2 game where they came back and forced overtime, they looked so focused and so desperately wanting to perform in front of the home crowd. And if they could just get behind them every round, it might make a difference.
Yeah, the good thing for NaVi right now is that they're starting to actually hurt Titan's economy. So winning this round, that could, denying a bomb plant as well, that could potentially put Titan on eco, and all of a sudden you have a fairly respectable half. You know, you talked about it prior to the game. We're going to see that 9-6 result in the first half, and I think NaVi, they're going to be happy about that, seeing how most of the buy rounds played out initially.
Again, both ops were mid initially. Edward has fallen up the highway this time. Kenny finds Guardian yet again, so early blood to Titan.
And they've been so good at actually working with that advantage whenever NaVi has given it away to them. But Seized replies quickly onto Maniac, so if he's able to get out of this position, and NaVi is sort of able to reset. Oh,
there it is though, Seized. Not able to hold them off. Titan knew he was in the corner. In the form of Apex comes around the corner, and that was his head gone. So Edward falls just a little bit because they've smoked off the entire right side. They're going to go above it. Oh, I think he can see him. Can Kenny see him? He doesn't. Edward gets the better shot. I thought for sure Kenny had the angle, and look at Flamey. There's 3 from him. That's the Flamey we saw yesterday.
Yeah, it's currently top fragging for NaVi, so he's definitely shaking off that Dust 2 game. Warmed up properly now and is getting into it. Kenny S on the other hand, actually, quite surprisingly, again, not quite getting into it. What he has done, though, those 7 frags he has been impactful frags, because Titan have been able to work off of those entries that he's gotten on Guardian or Edward so many times.
And where they're so early in the round, it forces the defense to thin themselves out. It's not like they're on entry where they're already on the site. Yeah. It splits them up, as Edward finds RPK that time. So again, Titan have first blood, and again, they're going to have to force their rotation early, as Flamey and Zeus are already on highway. Luckily, they are at A, but these smokes are so strong. Can they do it again? Flamey's already there. Edward's there as well, trying to get that shot. The flash, though, holds him out. They're actually a little bit confused right now. High five, bro. No you. And actually, Guardian's going to be the one that comes in. Apex drops. Look at Existence still inside the site. And Kenny and Maniac have already found 1 each. So we're back to a 3-on-2, favoring Titan.
Ooh, Kenny, it's actually a pretty easy shot for him.
Existence, though, yeah, still inside that site. They never spotted him. So Flamey walked in and was completely unaware he was there, and now Zeus finds himself very lonely. That bomb finally does go down. Timid about the plant, but they'll get it. And so we end 8-7, as close as we could possibly be on a map.
Yeah, and I think Titan are going to be very happy about that T side. And you can see that last round, they actually avoided planting pretty much the entire time because they knew they didn't have control over the bomb side. Even though they had 3 players on the actual site and had pretty good positions to actually put the bomb down, they wanted to play it as safe as possible. They knew that it's not really going to matter if you plant the bomb because it's the last round of the half. It doesn't matter all that much. So just really calm and collected play from them, knowing the situation, realizing what they actually need to do, and they solved that perfectly.
Well, now the problem is that we're going on to a Titan CT side, which yesterday was
shaky.
Phenomenal. Well, shaky at the start, but phenomenal once they adapted. That was the thing. And Apex side, I think, had 11 kills in 3 rounds to force that 5-round 10. Yeah. It was 10-15 for NiP. They forced it back to 15-15, all on Apex, because, like you said, Kenny was losing to Alu. You alluded to that earlier. So he fell out of mid, headed over toward A, and it was actually Apex who played the most passive mid I've ever seen. At least in the recent history. He just sat in Z, let them walk up, and most times they thought, okay, we're up to highway, and then he'd pop out and say, hey, just kidding, let's go. If they can come up with that sort of strategy again and get a good early read on NaVi, this looks really good for Titan.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, like, they have to get the early read, because they can't really allow NaVi to get to a point where they let NiP get to. Like, if you allow the other team to get match point, playing for overtime, that's never a situation you want to be in. So getting that early read, I think that's absolute key.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It took them too long against NiP. Otherwise, they would have had that game in the bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Came on strong. Not a moment too soon as they forced the overtime with it. But here we go. Pistol underway. That's going to be an A-take from NaVi. Seized is just waiting for rotators if they go the long way. And it's actually 3 players over toward B, 1 in mid. So it's all Apex that's there. They're pushing onto him, but they walk right by. Edward doesn't check it. Somehow he goes unsighted, so he gets the first kill. That bomb is going to go down, though, and Seized is going to come around from the backside of mid. He might get behind them on highway. Apex not done. Second one for him. That's Flamey to drop. And he's manning up and just going straight in right now. A third, no, pardon me, it was actually Kenny S who took that from over his shoulder. As Zeus now is in a desperate position, but he's got a Tech 9 and a bomb to work with. It's not going to be enough. Kenny S gets the final kill, and Titan will get the pistol.
Yeah, and for NaVi, that was the perfect bomb site to go towards, because Titan had initially a 3-man setup towards the B bomb site, and Existence hiding out behind the barrels in mid, or sandbags. That was all Apex. Apex buying so much time, not dying. Obviously, tiny bit of luck with Edward not actually looking in his direction as he goes through the smoke.
Which I found interesting, because they'd already seen him before the smoke went out. He'd actually already taken 2 pop shots off, and yet Edward chased him as if maybe he thought he already went inside the site.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the case for Edward, and Apex basically giving up the site. I don't think they expected that.
So here we go, actually. They're going to go right to Apex in mid this time. Kenny's over at A.
Yeah, you can look, this is what, similar to what Titan did actually in their ecos.
Obviously,
smoke out towards A. Yeah,
I shouldn't get too far ahead of it, but that's I mean, if that's an indication, then they are going to go with this as the default today. So Kenny gets smoked and flashed, but he finds a way to dart around and dodge away from them, but Edward still gets the kill. Meanwhile, Titan's found 3, 2 for Maniac, back-to-back as Seized and Zeus go down, make it a 3rd as he collects Flamey, switching over to that Tech 9. How lovely that he's found a Tech 9 already, but Edward's going to take it back away from him. He's got this down to only 2 men remaining for Titan, so not a terrible eco. They don't get a bomb plant for it.
But they do put some
damage.
Exactly, they do put some economical pain on Titan. As you can see, you know, still people hanging on to FAMASas and whatnot. But yeah, okay eco from NaVi. Obviously, they would like to get the plant, but
Kenny's gone for the op already.
Yeah.
So 3rd round op from him.
And I'm always weary about people buying ops as eco rounds. I think that's a bit of a risky move.
It is risky. If you lose it and give it away, how painful would that be? Look at Apex, though, again from this mid position. He's been so good there.
Yeah, and actually, a bit of a funny thing. He's actually using the burst fire quite heavily.
Yeah, that was a good point, because the first 2 shots were boom, boom, and like it wasn't. I haven't seen anyone use it from that position, but from that distance, obviously it's effective. Yeah, traced them well.
Makes it work. So after having a bit of a shaky anti-eco the first time around, second anti-eco just perfect. And right now,
Apex is rewriting the meta too, to sit there with a rifle. Again, it's not something you see commonly.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how he fares versus Guardian, if Guardian's actually going to be the one to challenge towards mid eventually, and see if he's going to be able to pick up Apex there. I
should qualify my statement to it. You do see it commonly that a rifle's in mid, but not usually solo. Obviously, Fnatic play 3 there with rifles.
And exactly. Not that far back. Okay, speaking of not being far back, Kenny S pushing aggressively into the side holds towards A there, and picks up Flamey, and again, Titan getting that entry frag. It's so big for them.
They're going to try and boost over and go for mid-late. Apex has already changed his angle onto highway, so this means he can't quite peek out in the same fashion as he has been. He's already changed it, but actually he's going to go the long way around and come back toward the Z connector. So he will get there, and in fact, having seen him rotate up highway, this might be even harder for them to read.
They could definitely throw them off, and I think it's Edward who's slowly working up mid here. He's going to be taken out.
Apex again. RPK Existence over at B. That's where Seized, Zeus, and Guardian are heading, and Apex is going to join them, so it's going to be a 3 versus 3 on the take. Maniac and Kenny S are going to have to be late on the rotations. But the calls come out, they'll head over now. Meanwhile, Apex gets another one. It's Seized down, and this is his map. He is rewriting the rules of how it should be played. As he gets yet another to close out the round. RPK chimes in just before that, but I'm impressed. This is a great... He's reading them brilliantly.
Apex is doing work, and he's already on 20 frags. Yeah, so he definitely has that game versus Nip in the back of his mind. Like, I've done it before, I can do it again. So this bodes really well if you Titan. Another eco round coming up from NaVi, and they're really hard pressing. They're going to go back to the same eco round that we saw the previous time. Smoke out the entire A site. And the goal here is not really get kills, it's getting that bomb plant down so they can actually get a proper buy.
Try and go for this A. Smoke's raining over all the way out from long. 2 men already at Squeaky. That's Edward and Flamey. Guardian and Zeus joining them in from main. But look at Titan. Kenny S with 1 and an assist on the kill from Apex. Maniac comes in as well. All 3 of them contributing. Now Apex gets his second. Tease at least closes onto 1, but Kenny's there. Trades it right back, and only 1 man down. No bomb plant. Titan, very well held.
Yeah, and NaVi gonna buy up either way. They're actually gonna get quite a few grenades here. So that is actually a big thing for them. They've obviously lost so many rounds in a row at this point that that money bonus is going to come in handy. But they need to get something working right now. You can see Guardian already changing things up. He wants to play aggressively towards the B bomb site.
Vent's broken out. Zeus heads in there. No one spotted him up, although I think he's...
I think he might have seen
Yeah,
him.
he just saw him over the edge of the smoke because he actually turned back. I thought the smoke was just high enough. X-ray throwing me off. I took the benefit of the doubt that he couldn't see him, and we could.
Right now, it seems that, yeah, Titan are definitely aware of what's going on. Already 3 people towards that B bomb site. Apex are getting tagged up. Already down to 19 HP, and as I say that, he gets taken out by Guardian.
RPK's in this corner. That smoke at least limits the angle that he has to check, but it's going away, so he's going to move out of it. He gets one, catches them off with a team flash that came in brilliantly, but that's all he gets as Edward responds, and there's Kenny. But Flamey responding. What a shot from that AK, and Flamey's not done. Catches Maniac on the rotation, but Existence goes for it. Not going to happen. I'm sorry, sir. You cannot have 3 as Zeus comes in, and NaVi's not going to let it get that out of control.
What a back and forth round. Titan had the read. NaVi were pretty much locked in towards that A-bomb site, but Flamey turning around, picking up Maniac. Absolutely huge. That saved the round for them.
Oh, massively. And potentially more than that. Could save this map because, again, you go to 13 to 8 with very little economy. It's too far to reach, in my opinion, and they're playing potentially their last map of this tournament in front of their home crowd, but Guardian's got something to say about that. He hits the first, lags the second, can't find the kill, but damage dealt. Kenny responding with a tag of his own, but Flamey doesn't care. He doesn't need HP, just bullets, and he'll go back into him. Existence, though, there's your man that came in late and almost won the round last time. He's already on the rotation, and again, it's Zeus that wins against him, so he's got his number. RPK's the last that's left. He's coming up from Highway. Bomb's already going down, and NaVi looking to get 2 in a row. Very important for them.
Oh, he actually spots that Faceit here.
Well shot through the edge of that on the backside of the forklift. But Edwards aware, completely aware with the op. Double digits for both teams. We are going to fight all the way to the end.
And the good thing for NaVi right now, they're able to maintain some weapons and actually win rounds, you know, a couple of rounds in a row. This is really good, and they have to really if they're gonna, well, stick in this.
And again, Flamey, we called him out last map. Yesterday, he was the big difference maker. He's on top again, and look at the game we've got. They're making a contest for it. Guardian can't hit that first shot, goes for the second one. Apex somehow gets away, and Existence will bail out of the sandbags. That's such an awkward spot to play if you get stuck there. There's the run boost. All right, so we're going to see it. Here we go. Titan used this yesterday, and they didn't check it. It was Maniac that got 3 from that position because there was no smoke to give away. He was there. We'll see if it pays off for them again. And in fact, he's got the 5.7, which is the gun that he did it with last time. Nice nade. Well thrown, sir.
That's a similar nade.
Called out. He's not even here to defend himself.
Yeah. Well, already, Existence picking up that first frag onto Edward, doing massive damage onto Zeus. NaVi are heavily tagged up at this point, and they haven't gotten anywhere. And that, you know, pointed out, that run boost, that's going to be essential for them. Even though Maniac only has a 5.7, he has to put in work. He has to be able to pick up a couple of frags here. Otherwise, NaVi going to get to that bomb site too easily. But
again, no smoke to indicate he's there. It's late in the round. They wouldn't expect him to sit tight, but they are going to check it. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He's already got 2. He's going to find Zeus. How aware are you, Mr. Maniac? The name fits, my friend, and now you're going to go for this knife? No, he picks up the gun. Even smarter. Realizes the gun's beside him, so not a desperation play at all. Gets 4. That's the second time we've seen Titan use that run boost to complete perfection. Yeah, now they've got 13.
You couldn't ask for more in that situation, and well, even though NaVi did pick up consecutive rounds, completely broke. And this is the force buy. This is the last-ditch effort for NaVi. They have to win this. And I'm actually kind of surprised to see that C's actually buys up with Kevlar and whatnot, because the money's not really that balanced out for Titan, and Apex starts it off. And Apex has just been amazing this entire game.
Tagged him up with the molly and then around center area, and then took him down with the M4. He has been great. I'm really impressed with how he plays this map.
He's definitely understood what you need to do. The X's and O's of Cash. And
NaVi's going to go. They're going to push in anyway.
Yeah.
Keep in mind it's pistols.
And Apex doing the same thing over and over again. Rotating up hallway, coming back into C connector.
It's kind of like how Flusha drops down mid on Mirage and then rotates back to window through connector. It's a similar play. Obviously a lot longer route on this map, but yet Apex making it work, showing off that he's got the speed. RPK in the backside of checkers. Here's that vent get broken, but they're not actually focusing on that site. They're just going to try and push up mid, and they won't find anything. Not even a single kill on this eco. So Titan now in a great position. We will see guns come back out for NaVi, but just barely. Again, we're forcing onto Famas's. And it's 2 rounds to elimination for them in front of their home crowd. Elimination, I should say.
Yeah.
3, I don't know if you saw my tweet.
Exactly.
It's elimination day, but with 3 teams being eliminated, it could be Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly. But again, yeah, this is why I was so curious about why C's, for instance, actually bought up with the Kevlar that previous round, because they're not going to have a proper buy. Kenny gets too aggressive. Too aggressive.
But again, Kenny's not finding these early shots. He's not going on fire as Guardian, another one. He doesn't want this to end. He wants the swan song to continue. He wants to go out in style, if he's going to, at least in front of his home crowd. And he'll get two, but he's not done. Apex, nice pop flash. He gets a double in response. It's Flamey and Edward that go down. RPK's on the rotation as well, and he's going to get seized. And we've got match point staring us in the face as Zeus drops. 15 rounds now for Titan.
Yeah, so even with 2 entry frags coming out from Guardian, it's not enough for NaVi, and the last 3 rounds have just been like wonky force buys for NaVi. Instead of taking that one clean eco 2 rounds ago, they could have had some proper guns, they could have had the nades to actually try to do a set strat, something to that effect, maybe get an open Guardian, but instead they opt to do, with the risky play, and it hasn't paid off.
And the one thing I did also want to mention, I was starting to get to it, was Kenny S, again, on bottom this game, has found early picks on the T side.
Yeah.
But again, it's Titan stepping up in all kinds of form, as Apex leads the way this time, and everyone else is still close in the distribution. Here we go, round underway, match point, tournament point for NaVi potentially. If they lose this, it's all done. They'll get the trade at least, but there's still a man down, and the HP for Seized is very, very slender. He's on 16 health. Really getting aggressive again. All the way up from long. Switches over to the C's head. Can't find the end of the kill. 13 health for him. Tries to desperately pop out a flash, but Edward's going to get him. Meanwhile, it's Existence inside B, and that leaves just Edward left. He's got the Oppo. Maniac saw him cross. They know exactly where he is.
And Edward has no idea. This is kind of similar. Well, Maniac is actually not pushing after. He wants to play this as safe as possible, but I don't think Titan know that they've actually dropped. Well, surely Existence knows.
Yeah, I think Existence already spotted it. He just fell back. And interestingly, Edward didn't go immediately to vents. He's going to go the long way around and try and catch them off. Maniac still all the way out toward B main, but as time continues to tick away, he's slowly leaning toward that B site because he figures Edward can't possibly be still out toward mid, and he comes in. There it is. Existence closes it out. 16-10. NaVi can't get there in the end, and I have to say, this CT side from Titan, holy moly. That is a scary, scary CT side. So teams need to be aware that cash is looking great for them.
Yeah, and you talked about it. Figuring out what NaVi are doing early on, that's going to be the key for Titan. And they got off to a hot start. And they didn't look back after that. So just brilliant play from Titan. And it's good to see that they didn't hit that wall after losing to NiP. Because remember what we saw at Katowice. So close to actually beating Envy and then completely faltering versus Penta. This time around, a completely different story.
And interestingly enough, though, to go back to what Thorne said yesterday about how they seem to play to the level of their opponent.
Yes.
At this event, we've only got top-level opponents, so Titan's bringing their A game, and I mean, that's an interesting thing to note, because Penta, you're right, caught them completely off. So farewell to NaVi.